What's the nicest thing you've ever done for someone else, only for it to be the nicest thing they've done for you? For 5 years, I'd been working as a best friend for hire, playing the role of long-lost buddy at weddings, reunions, whatever lonely people needed. But this call was different. Not embarrassed like most clients, but genuinely desperate. I need a best man. The wedding's this Saturday. I started my usual spiel about rates and what's included and how I'd need at least the basic backstory. But the guy cut me off. I'll pay double your usual rate, triple. I just really need this to be believable, he said, trailing off. There was something in his voice that got to me. Maybe because he wasn't trying to make excuses or explain why he needed a fake friend. He just sounded tired. So I agreed to take the job thinking it would be just like any other gig. It wasn't. And at the end of it, I wasn't even sure what to believe anymore. The groom who hired me, Barry, met me at a hotel that Friday afternoon to go over all the details one final time. I've already told everyone about you, he said, pulling out a detailed binder full of info on him and our fake history. My partner's family honestly thinks I'm a loser, he admitted while we went through the materials. But I really love this girl. I need you to help me look good in front of her. It would mean everything. I smiled, patted his shoulder. You're a good man. Which reminds me, what about the bachelor's party? He shrugged. I never really planned one because you're my only groomsman. I closed the binder and stood up with a grin. You hired me as your best friend. Let's at least have some fun. I made a few calls to old friends who'd helped me on similar gigs before and dragged Barry out the hotel. We ended up at a go-kart track where Barry immediately spun out 3 times but wouldn't stop laughing. At the dive bar afterward, he tried to keep up with my friends doing shots and ended up lying down on one of the tables, saying over and over, "The world is spinning." I laughed, taking pictures and videos for him to remember his wild night. If this is what having you as a best friend is like, I wish I had more money to hire you every day, he mumbled before passing out. I stood smiling at his drunk but heartfelt comment. It was honestly the nicest thing any client had ever told me, and I started getting a real soft spot for the guy. Saturday morning, while helping Barry get ready, I taught him a stupid secret handshake I made up on the spot just to calm his nerves. He practiced it over and over, grinning like a kid. My friends treated him like they'd known him for years, fixing his tie and making sure he'd eaten something. At the altar, waiting for the bride, Barry whispered, "Thank you for being here." When his bride walked down the aisle and I saw his face, I got unexpectedly emotional. I'd been to dozens of weddings as a hired friend, but I'd never actually felt anything during the ceremony. So when it came down to the best man speech at the reception, I completely went off script, speaking straight from the heart about finding friends when you least expect them. At the end of it, Barry and I were both fighting back tears and laughter. "To the best man," he said. We danced badly together, both of us terrible at it but not caring. His partner's family, who'd been cold at first, finally warmed up to him. "You bring out the best in him," his new mother-in-law told me. His bride pulled me aside to thank me. "I've never seen Barry this happy and confident," she said. And at this point, I thought it'd all be over. But something crazier happened. The DJ announced it was time for the childhood slideshow, so we all got in our seats and watched the big screen light up with Barry and his bride's baby photos. First day of school, Little League, the usual stuff. Then a kindergarten Halloween photo appeared. 2 kids in matching dinosaur costumes, holding plastic candy buckets, grinning at the camera with gaps in their teeth. I felt glued to my seat, eyes widening. That kid in the photo, that was me. I pulled him to the side after. "B-O, that was me in the photo. Why didn't you tell me?" Barry looked at me for a long moment, then said simply, "I just didn't want my best friend to miss my wedding."